Laminitis, basically, this is a common disease that happens as one of the key metabolic diseases in phase 1. And how does laminitis come about? This is how it comes about. We introduce a lot of concentrates to a cow that has just calved down. What is our target? We want to increase milk production. But in essence, tumeharibu kila kitu, si ndio? Because a lot of highly fermentable carbohydrates will cause a lot of production of propionic acid, which is the precursor of energy. And a lot of propionic acid, when produced in the rumen, it will lead to production of lactic acid. When we have lactic acid being produced, lactic acid has a very low pH. And therefore, it drags the pH of the rumen from 6 to about 6.5 to about near acidity. When that happens, then we destabilize the ruminal microbiota. Like I was telling you initially, that they normally exist at a balance, the gram negative and the gram positive. They normally exist as a balance. Are we together? So what happens is, when we have a lot of too highly fermentable carbohydrates, then we have some of the lactic acid, actually because of also the reduction of the pH. When the pH of the rumen is reduced, then it affects directly the motility of the rumen. Now, motility of the rumen is very, very important so that we don't have a lot of toxins being absorbed or getting adequate time on the serosal surface of the rumen. Now, when we have an issue with lactic acid, then what happens first, we'll have a quiescent rumen. That means will affect the motility of the rumen. When the rumen is quiescent, and we have a lot of lactic acid produced, this lactic acid becomes absorbed through the walls of, the epithelial walls of the rumen. Are we together? Then it will travel along the pathway, and it will affect especially the lamellae propria of the hoof. When it affects the lamellae propria of the hoof, then the animal now begins to manifest symptoms of acute laminitis. Are we together? Now, when it takes a very long time, then it now transitions to subacute and then to chronic laminitis. Are we together? So everything started with too much concentrates. And that is why now this is a very, very unique product that should not miss in any farm. Okay? One of the ways of being able to diagnose laminitis, when you visit a farm and then you find an animal in this posture, what we call an arched back, there are two diseases that will easily confuse you at general observation, before you go to physical examination. What are these diseases? Number one is TRP. Number two is laminitis. Sindio? Because now the animal is having symptoms of pain. And this pain could either be because of some nails in the reticulum or because of a foot problem. Sindio? Now the other differential, of course, could be nerve injury. But when it's nerve injury, the animal will not be standing. It will be recumbent. Sindio? The other problem could also be a fracture. Sindio? So you need to rule out all those differentials so that you're able to land finally to an acute, subacute, or chronic laminitis. If you are to rule out for TRP, what do? You do the Withers test. So if it is positive, that means there will be spondylosis. That means the animal tries to do what? To bend the spinal cord. So when it bends the spinal cord, is it negative or positive for TRP? It is negative for TRP. When we have TRP, the animal resists going down like that. Sawa sawa. So you're able to rule out TRP. If the animal goes like that, then know that hapa kuna TRP. So you're left with two diseases. You're left with laminitis and also could be a possible fracture. So then you now go to physical examination and examine. In cases of acute, subacute laminitis, we are likely going to see issues of petechial hemorrhages around the area of the sole. So unafanya hivyo, then you wash around that area, you check for petechial hemorrhages. Are we together? Presence of petechiations in the sole will be very confirmatory for an acute case of laminitis. Are we together? Now, in the case when we have chronic laminitis, you're going to see what we call a buckled toe. That means that now there will be an overgrown hoof. Ni kama ng'ombe amevaa sharpshooter. Ile nakanga hivi. Are we together? So if you see any instances of an overgrown toe, then that is a very, very serious case of chronic laminitis. It has taken a lot of time before it was managed, and therefore the cow, many a times, will be walking as if kanakanga hivi. That is the posture of the animals. So because they have overgrown toes, and already they're painful. Are we together? So that is how to be able to differentiate between the two diseases. So that's what you're able to see. The animal is appearing in that particular shape. For acute case, already there will be a lot of petechiations around the area of the sole of the hoof. That confirms laminitis.